Thanks. Thanks, Colette. Morning, everybody. Our vision at Longford County Council is for our County Longford, a county that is vibrant and a prosperous place to be. And our mission is to be connected to our people, our place and our communities and the opportunities that come along. So two such opportunities were presented in the government's National Broadband Plan and the Action Plan for Rural Ireland, our rural future. So to ensure the effective local implementation of these national strategies, Longford County Council has developed and is implementing two strategies. Our digital strategy 2021 to 23, centred and connected digital Longford, and guidance for the development of rural working hubs in Longford. So in the video that follows, my colleagues who are also here today, Danny, Christine and Lorraine, as well as community and elected representatives, will give an insight into these strategies and how Longford County Council is serving, leading and representing our communities in our revitalised rural county as it embraces bringing digital into all aspects of life in County Longford. So I'll let Darren do the honours here on starting the video.
Hello everyone, you're all very welcome to County Longford. It's great to be here today to chat to you about our work in relation to rural working hubs. As you know, access to high-speed broadband has always been an issue for rural local authorities. But the COVID pandemic really brought that home to us all, but it also brought a realisation that people can work remotely. Office-based staff and professionals can work remotely, and digital entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general can work remotely once they have access to high-speed broadband. And to that end, or with that opportunity presented to us, over the last while, Longford County Council has been working on two really important strategies. The first strategy, our county digital strategy, Longford Centred and Connected, focuses very much on our broadband connection points, our town Wi-Fi, and in helping our communities have access and make the most of access to high-speed broadband. That strategy is being led in its implementation by our IT section with the help of our regeneration section. Our second really important strategy is our digital working hubs strategy. That strategy focuses very much on the balanced rollout and development of digital hubs throughout the county. The strategy is being led in its implementation by our regeneration section with the help of our IT section. So, over the next few minutes, my colleagues from IT and from regeneration are going to talk to you about both strategies, what they are and what work they're doing in relation to both. And you're also going to hear from our communities and from some of the benefits that they are already achieving from the work of both sections in relation to the implementation of both strategies. So enjoy the video and I'll chat to you again in a few minutes.
Our county's digital strategy, Centred and Connected Digital Longford, is our blueprint for bringing digital into all aspects of life in Longford. It was informed by a series of public consultations from which four key themes emerged: digital infrastructure and connectivity,
smart communities, digital economy and enterprise, and digital transformation.
Our consultation process was shared with a number of other Irish local authorities. It then was approved by the Next to Met before being recognised and made available on the Interreg Europe Policy Learning Platform as an example of best practice. A key part of our digital strategy is the rollout of the free public Wi-Fi services in towns and our 8 broadband connection points, which deliver high-speed broadband access to rural areas of our county. Connectivity creates choice and enhances overall quality of life. This project has injected new life and opportunities into our communities, allowing people to live, work and participate locally. Together with our regeneration team, we have secured funding to renovate and resource the broadband connection points to provide our citizens with all the requirements for remote working. We have further developed our broadband connection points, and our citizens are now enjoying interactive courses from some of our locations. Future plans involve the rollout of various courses with local education partners.
Well, I think it was a fantastic opportunity to use this centre in Mahon and have access through the webinar to the museum and art especially, because we are fairly isolated in the country during this pandemic, and it has been very difficult for a lot of us to travel, take public transport, go back to the big cities and mingle with crowds.
It's a 10-week course. We have 6 weeks completed already, and there's 11 of us participating here in the centre in Mullinafta, as you said. It's different. It's a virtual art class, and it's proven to be very enjoyable. After initial set-up and with your help, thankfully, we got going. Lots of laughs, and that's probably 50% of it. Una is a wonderful artist, and she starts with a blank canvas, and you'd be amazed at what she finishes up with, and we would be amazed and amused with what we finish up with. But it's good laugh, it's different. It's great to be able to do it here in the local community centre, and it's amazing that you probably can do art online.
The whole thing was a very positive experience, and I am very grateful for it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been working here since March remotely, and the internet connection and the speed is brilliant, really fast, and enables me to do all my work here remotely. The facilities are fantastic. I've desk, chair, document station, screen, all supplied for me, and allowed me to do my work successfully. By having this remote hub available to me has allowed me to move home during COVID, and also allows me to do my work remotely. The cost of living is a lot more cheaper down here than where I was in Dublin, and it's been a great benefit to me. I hope that it continues for many years to come as it benefits so many people in the area.
Longford is truly a beautiful county with fabulous amenities, and now with the added value of having free access to high-speed broadband in our communities, creates the perfect location for all our citizens to live, work and participate locally, making Longford the place to be.
I just want to introduce Longford County Council's Rural Work and Hope strategy and guidance documents that we have developed, which was an innovative project undertaken by Longford County Council to take a strategic approach to development of rural work and hopes within the county. The purpose of this was to ensure that we develop sustainable projects for communities to support the lasting long-term positive impact on the communities. Our engagement with local communities informed us that there was a requirement across the county for hubs across all communities. Lots of different community groups approaching us saying they wanted rural work and hubs, but in terms of Longford, it's a very small county, so we had to look at the sustainability of hubs right across the county, and having one at every crossroads really wouldn't be sustainable and wouldn't have a positive impact on the communities that we serve. Therefore, we decided to become involved in this project to look at the development of a strategy, so we would take a strategic approach and look at what would be most appropriate in terms of the development of hubs within the county. The aim of the project was to provide both internal support to Longford County Council and also external support to the local community groups. So that included the strategy was for internally within our own departments and to support our own departments, and also externally the guidance document that we could provide to our local communities that approached us with ideas around the development of rural work and hubs to ensure that they had sufficient information at the outset that would be needed for the development of a hub. First of all was the strategy document, which was to provide clarity internally within Longford County Council to the various departments that would be involved in the development of rural work and hubs. So we would have approaches from the LEO office, from the regeneration office, from the community section and planning section that would have an interest of groups interested in developing rural work and hubs. Therefore, the strategy included a steering group that would bring together members from the different departments that were involved, and that would ensure that projects in relation to rural work and hubs will be given full consideration at the outset. For example, the IT department was key to being involved to ensure that broadband was considered at an early stage. And the regeneration department gave strong support in terms of funding available and giving support to the community in the development of the projects once funding is received. The strategy also outlined a tiered approach to the development of rural work and hubs within the county, and the aim of that was to ensure that the hub that was developed was appropriate to the scale of the town or village that was it was going into. The tiered system is related to the Western Development Commission classification system, and we worked closely with the Western Development Commission in relation to this, and they were a huge support in the development of the strategy and the documents that we produced. And Longford County Council has proposed that there would be 2 to 3 enterprise hubs at the larger town levels, and then moving down to community and enterprise hubs at the lower level, in line with the towns and villages designated in our core strategy, so it aligns to our development plan. And then this work is also supported by the BCPs, the broadband connection points that have been developed in the towns, in the villages and the more rural communities across Longford. And of course this work is all supported by the private sector, who are also investing in rural working hubs, but the strategy specifically relates to our work with community groups and the voluntary sector. The strategy was adopted by the elected members, and that's really important in terms of the support it gives to our elected members, that they have the strategy behind them as they are approached by local communities and interested parties in the development of rural working hubs. They can see the reasoning behind why we have proposed the strategy and the tiered system, and they can also then give them back up in terms of their feedback to the local community groups. Externally, the support we provide to the local community groups is in the form of a guidance document, which we developed, again, following consultation with local community groups in relation to the work that they have been doing and looking for rural working hubs within their own communities. But what we found from early consultation was a lot of the perception was if we put desks into a room, then we have a hub. There was a lack of understanding really of what a hub is and what is requirement in terms of the whole of the life of the hub. So we felt it was important to give that information to them at the outset. Therefore, we developed this guidance document, and again, with the support of the Western Development Commission, we put it together, and the document we produced has formed the basis for the national guidance document. The document itself refers the interested community groups to the steering group within Longford County Council and to the work that we're doing in terms of who to approach and how their proposals will be considered. It also encourages them to consider at the outset information such as why do they want a hub, and that will really inform what sort of hub they're going to develop, the scale of the hub that they should be considering for their town or village, issues such as broadband. The guidance document includes information for the community hubs, the community groups on that they should be considering at the outset, including information such as why do you want a hub in your local community, and that will inform a lot of the information around what type of hub you will develop. And also issues around broadband availability that some people just assume will be there, but that's not guaranteed. Things around governance, which need to be considered at the outset. Management. It's more than just desks in a room, and what sort of offering are you going to have that's going to ensure that it is sustainable, and it's to encourage groups to develop sustainable projects. So it's really important that this information is considered at the outset, and also gives information around funding and different groups that would be useful for them to connect into. This work forms part of the work that we have been doing in terms of collaboration within the Regeneration Department and Longford County Council to try and support our local communities in the development of sustainable projects that will really make a difference in terms of the regeneration of our towns and villages throughout Longford, and to sustain our communities and grow our communities.
The Council's Rural Working Hubs Group Strategy and Guidance Document is an excellent tool for elected members. It created a primary contract in regeneration and a structure in the Council to help with the development of hubs. It also clearly and simply explained the type of hubs which we have in County Longford. It highlighted key issues that must be considered when thinking of developing a hub. From Carrick and Shannon to Stranrawer, it gives us examples of rural working hubs and Kildare Clonmel.
Welcome to CoWorks, our first rural working hub in Longford. We're a group of local volunteers here in Edwardstown that got together 3 years ago to develop CoWorks as a rural working hub. The support that we've received from Longford County Council has been fantastic in terms of access to the local enterprise office and the business supports and mentorship that they've given us, the regeneration team who have helped in the design and construction phase of our project, and the IT department that have secured broadband connectivity for us at an affordable price. The design of CoWorks has resulted from collaboration with all our stakeholders. It resulted in a suite of discrete office spaces, an event space, a training and development centre, and a podcast room. So all the things that you'll need when you're starting up your business or when you're working remotely.
Hello, good to see you again. I hope you enjoyed your visit to rural County Longford, and I hope we're able to bring across all the work we're doing for our communities. And that work really is thanks with the collaboration between our different sections and the support of our elected members and the vision of our management team. Of course, at any stage, if you want to learn more or talk to us about it, please feel free to give us a ring, and you're all more than welcome to come and visit us here in County Longford. Thank you.
Thanks very much, and just thanks to my colleagues Danny, Christine and Lorraine who are here today, and of course to our community reps and elected reps who helped us in putting that together.